When everything falls apart, your biggest threat might not be strangers. It could be the people right next door. The same friendly neighbors who smile and wave today might be eyeing your supplies tomorrow. Desperation changes people. And in a collapse, even the most ordinary items in your home could become high-value targets. In this video, we're breaking down 6 everyday items you'll need to protect at all costs. Once word gets out you have them, you could become the focus of unwanted attention. And trust me, you don't want that. If you're serious about staying ahead and protecting what's yours when things go south, hit that subscribe button now. Let's dive in. Clean drinking water. The lifeline everyone will fight for. When the taps run dry, society crumbles. You can survive weeks without food, but water, 3 days without it, and your body starts shutting down. That's why in a collapse, clean drinking water becomes the most critical resource you own, and the first thing desperate people will come after. Here's the brutal reality. The moment the power grid fails, municipal water systems begin to lose pressure. Within hours, faucets will sputter and die, leaving entire neighborhoods without a drop. Reservoirs that once seemed endless will be drained, and panic will set in. People will scavenge anything remotely wet, creeks, puddles, even contaminated ditches, just to stay alive. If your neighbors catch wind that you've got a stash of clean water, you're not just holding hydration, you're holding a target. And don't think people will forget. That casual conversation you had months ago about your emergency water supply, your neighbor remembered. The delivery driver who spotted those water jugs in your garage, they remember too. In a crisis, those memories become maps leading straight to your door. Water isn't just for drinking, either. You'll need it for cooking, cleaning wounds, mixing medicine, and basic hygiene. That means your supply will deplete faster than you think. A single person needs at least 1 gallon per day to survive. For a family of 4, that's 28 gallons a week, bare minimum. Now imagine trying to keep that hidden when everyone around you is desperate. So how do you protect it? First, never store all your water in one place. Spread it out, some in your home, some in a shed, and maybe even some buried in your yard. If someone finds part of your stash, they won't get it all. Second, avoid flashy containers. Those shiny blue water barrels scream preparedness. Instead, use old juice or soda bottles that blend in. If you can, set up a rainwater collection system, but keep it out of sight and learn water purification methods now. Even if you find more water, it's useless if you can't make it safe to drink. In a collapse, water isn't just a resource, it's survival itself. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. 2. Cooking fuel. The hidden key to survival. When the collapse hits, food will be a top priority. But here's the catch. Most people won't think about how they're going to cook it. Without electricity, gas lines, or a working stove, even the best-stocked pantry becomes a pile of useless calories. That's why cooking fuel, propane, butane, charcoal, or even dry firewood will become more valuable than gold. Here's the problem. Fuel is loud. The smell of cooking travels and smoke can be seen from miles away. In desperate times, smoke means food, and food means trouble. Your neighbors, who might be friendly today, won't hesitate to show up when they're hungry. At first, they'll ask nicely, then they'll demand, and finally they'll take. Fuel has another dangerous trait. It's portable. Unlike a garden, which is rooted in the ground, your fuel supply can be carried off in minutes. A couple of propane canisters fit easily in a backpack. A bag of charcoal, slung over a shoulder. Once it's gone, it's gone. To protect your fuel, you need 2 things: concealment and diversification. Don't store all your fuel in one obvious spot. Keep a few canisters or bags of charcoal where you can access them quickly, but hide the rest. Use sheds, tarps, or storage bins, labeled with something boring like holiday decorations. If you have firewood, don't stack it neatly in the open. Break it up, some behind the shed, some in the garage, and some under a tarp in a corner of your yard. And don't rely on just one type of fuel. Learn alternative cooking methods now. Solar ovens, rocket stoves, and alcohol burners are quiet, efficient, and don't draw attention. A roaring fire is an advertisement. A low smoke stove is a shield. Cooking fuel isn't just about hot meals. It's about boiling water to make it safe, warming your home in freezing weather, and keeping morale up in a world that feels colder and hungrier by the day. Without it, you're on a ticking clock. With it, you buy yourself time, energy, and a fighting chance. 3 batteries, the currency of a powerless world. When the grid goes down, batteries become the lifeblood of survival. In a world without electricity, they're the difference between light and darkness, between silence and the sound of a radio delivering life-saving news. And here's the truth. People won't be hunting for gold or jewelry. They'll be hunting for power. Day, AAA, C, D, 9V and especially rechargeable packs will become instant currency. That flashlight you barely think about today, it'll be a lifeline tomorrow. But it's not just flashlights. Emergency radios, headlamps, walkie-talkies, medical devices and even some water purifiers all depend on batteries. Here's the danger. Most people will burn through their battery supply in the first week of a crisis. They'll leave flashlights running, forget to turn them off, and drain their stockpile. That's when they'll start looking for yours. Batteries are small, portable, and easy to steal. A neighbor who wouldn't dream of taking from you today might pocket a pack of AAs tomorrow, justifying it as a way to keep their family alive. To protect your batteries, don't keep them all in one place. Split them into multiple stashes around your home. Use decoy containers with a few dead batteries on top and the real ones hidden underneath. Seal long-term supplies in Mylar bags with silica gel packs to keep them dry and extend their shelf life. Invest in solar battery chargers now. No matter how big your stash is, it will eventually run out. A solar charger lets you keep rechargeable batteries alive indefinitely, making you more self-reliant and valuable as a trading partner. And don't just stockpile the common sizes. Everyone thinks to grab AA and AAA, but D cells, C cells, and 9 volts will be even more sought after because fewer people have them. A single 9-volt battery could mean the difference between a working radio and total silence. In a dark, silent world, batteries aren't just functional, they're psychological armor. A small nightlight can help a child sleep, reducing panic and letting parents rest. A battery-powered radio can provide news, music, or a sense of connection to the outside world. In a post-collapse economy, batteries will trade like gold. A pack of AAs could get you a meal, a blanket, or critical information. Protect them well, because when your neighbors realize you have them, they won't ask twice. 4. Cooking oil, the overlooked survival essential. When people think about survival, they often focus on stockpiling canned goods, water, or blankets. But one item that will quietly become indispensable in a collapse is cooking oil. Whether it's vegetable oil, olive oil, coconut oil, or even that half-empty bottle sitting in your pantry, this liquid gold will skyrocket in value. Why? Because cooking oil isn't just for frying, it's a cornerstone of making food edible and nutritious. Without it, grains, beans, and vegetables become bland, dry, and harder to digest. A little oil can transform basic rations into something palatable, especially for children or the elderly, who may struggle with plain boiled food. Beyond taste, oil provides essential fats that your body needs to function, making it a critical survival item. But the value of cooking oil doesn't stop at the kitchen. It has a range of survival uses that most people won't think about until they're desperate. Oil can season cast iron cookware to prevent rust, lubricate tools or firearms, and even protect wooden utensils from cracking. In cold climates, it can be applied to exposed skin to reduce the risk of frostbite or windburn. And in a pinch, it can serve as fuel for improvised lamps or candles, providing light when the power is long gone. Here's the problem. Oil is consumable, and it runs out fast. Producing it at home is nearly impossible without specialized equipment, like a press for olives or seeds. Most households will burn through their supply in weeks, leaving people desperate to find more. If your neighbors catch wind that you have a stash, you'll quickly become a target. To protect your supply, start by diversifying. Stock up on different types of oil. Coconut oil has a long shelf life and solidifies in cooler weather, making it easier to store. Olive oil offers health benefits and flavor, but should be kept in dark bottles away from heat. Vegetable and canola oils are versatile and affordable, but have shorter lifespans. Store your oil smartly. Keep it in airtight containers, preferably glass or food-grade plastic, and stash it in a cool, dark place to prevent it from going rancid. Hide extra bottles in unexpected spots, like inside detergent boxes or behind cleaning supplies, and always rotate your stockpile. Use and replace oil regularly to ensure your stash stays fresh. Finally, keep your cooking discreet. The smell of frying food can travel far, especially when everyone around you is hungry. Cook indoors if possible, use lids to minimize odors, and stagger your meal times to avoid drawing attention. In a post-collapse world, Cooking oil won't just be a kitchen staple, it'll be a survival tool, a barter item, and a lifeline. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it just might. 5 life-saving medications, the ultimate barter item. When the collapse hits, there's one category of items that will cause instant panic: prescription medications. While food and water are survival basics, medicines like insulin, blood pressure pills, asthma inhalers, and antibiotics will become priceless. Even over-the-counter pain relievers and allergy medications will feel like gold in a world where pharmacies are empty and supply chains have crumbled. The harsh reality is that modern society is heavily dependent on pharmaceuticals. Millions of people rely on daily medications just to function. Without access to refills, life-threatening conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and asthma will spiral out of control. But it's not just chronic illnesses. Minor injuries and infections will become major threats without proper treatment. A simple cut could turn deadly without antibiotics, and stress-induced health issues like high blood pressure will skyrocket. Here's the dark truth. If people know you have a stash of medications, you'll become a target. Desperation can drive even the most moral person to do unthinkable things, especially when it comes to saving a loved one. A parent watching their child struggle to breathe won't hesitate to beg, barter, or steal to get what they need. To protect your supply, start preparing now. Quietly build a surplus by ordering refills as early as your insurance allows or switching to 90-day mail-order prescriptions. Work with your doctor to secure emergency backups, but keep your preparations low-key to avoid drawing attention. Storage is critical. Many medications are sensitive to heat, moisture, and light, so keep them in a cool, dry, and dark place. For insulin or other temperature-sensitive drugs, invest in a solar-powered fridge, insulated cooler, or even a clay pot cooling system. These solutions can extend the viability of your medications when refrigeration is no longer an option. In a barter economy, medicine will be one of the most valuable trade items. A single course of antibiotics could secure weeks of food or protection, and even non-essential items like sleep aids or allergy pills will have value. But trading comes with risks. Never reveal the full extent of your supply, and always present small amounts to make it seem like you have less than you do. Discretion is your best defense. Store medications in unmarked containers or hide them in unexpected places, like inside a sealed bag, buried in a bin of rice, or tucked into a hollowed-out book. The less people know about your stash, the safer you'll be. In a post-collapse world, medications won't just save lives, they'll determine who holds power. Protect your supply like your life depends on it, because in many cases, it will. 6. Batteries. The power behind survival. When the grid goes down, batteries will become the heartbeat of survival. They're small, portable, and essential for powering everything from flashlights to radios, medical devices, and security systems. In a world without electricity, batteries will be worth more than their weight in gold. Think about it, without batteries, your flashlight is just a useless tube of plastic. Your emergency radio? Silent. Even life-saving medical equipment like portable oxygen machines or CPAP devices will be rendered useless. Most people won't realize how critical batteries are until it's too late. In the early days of a collapse, you might still find a few batteries in junk drawers or abandoned homes, but those supplies will vanish quickly, leaving people desperate. Batteries are small, easy to steal, and incredibly valuable in a barter economy. A single pack of DAs could trade for food, firewood, or even protection. But here's the catch: batteries don't last forever. Even with proper storage, they degrade over time. That's why the real survivors will be the ones who invest in rechargeable systems now. A solar charger and a stash of rechargeable batteries can provide an endless supply of power, making you one of the most resourceful people in your community. To protect your battery supply, start by diversifying. Stockpile a variety of sizes: AA, AAA, C, D, and 9V. Don't forget the less common sizes, as they'll be even more valuable when others run out. Store your batteries in moisture-proof containers, away from extreme heat, and rotate your supply to ensure freshness. Discretion is key. If people know you have a working power source, you'll become a target. Keep your solar charger hidden, and avoid letting the glow of your devices spill into the night. The less attention you draw, the safer you'll be. In a post-collapse world, batteries won't just power devices, they'll power hope. A flashlight can provide security in the dark. A radio can deliver critical information, and a small nightlight can comfort a scared child. Protect your batteries like your life depends on them, because in many ways, it does. Bonus point 7. Salt. the silent survival hero. When people think about survival essentials, salt rarely makes the list. But in a post-collapse world, this humble mineral will become one of the most valuable and versatile items you can own. It's not just a seasoning, it's a survival tool, a preservative, and even a form of currency. Salt is essential for life. Your body needs it to maintain proper hydration, nerve function, and muscle performance. Without it, you risk dehydration, fatigue, and even life-threatening conditions like hyponatremia. But its value goes far beyond health. In a world without refrigeration, salt becomes the key to preserving food. Meat, fish, and even some vegetables can be cured with salt, extending their shelf life by weeks or even months. Salt also has countless other uses. It can be used to clean wounds, disinfect surfaces, and even make homemade saline solutions for medical emergencies. In cold climates, it can help melt ice or prevent it from forming on critical surfaces. And let's not forget its role in cooking. Salt transforms bland, basic rations into something edible and satisfying. Here's the problem. Salt is heavy, and most people don't stockpile it. Once the grocery store shelves are empty, it will be nearly impossible to find. If you have a stash, you'll be holding one of the most sought-after items in a post-collapse economy. To protect your supply, start by diversifying. Stockpile different types of salt: table salt for cooking, rock salt for preservation, and even Epsom salt for medicinal uses. Store it in airtight containers to prevent moisture from ruining it, and keep it in multiple locations to reduce the risk of losing it all at once. And here's a tip: don't advertise your stash. Salt is small, portable, and easy to steal. If people know you have it, they'll come looking for it. Keep your storage discreet, and if you trade it, do so in small amounts to avoid drawing attention. In a post-collapse world, salt isn't just a seasoning, it's a survival essential. Guard it carefully, because its value will only grow as resources dwindle. Bonus point 8. Seeds. The key to long-term survival. When the collapse hits, most people will focus on immediate needs like food, water, and shelter. But if you're thinking long-term, there's one item that will set you apart: seeds. These tiny packets of potential are the foundation of self-sufficiency, allowing you to grow your own food when supplies run out. Seeds are more than just a backup plan, they're a lifeline. In a world where grocery stores are empty and supply chains are broken, a small garden can provide a steady source of fresh, nutritious food. Vegetables, fruits, and herbs grown from seeds can supplement your stockpile, improve your diet, and even give you something to trade. But not all seeds are created equal. In a survival situation, you'll want to focus on heirloom or non-GMO seeds. These varieties can be saved and replanted year after year, unlike hybrid seeds, which often produce sterile plants. Choose crops that are easy to grow, have high yields, and store well, like beans, potatoes, carrots, and leafy greens. Here's the challenge. Seeds are small, lightweight, and incredibly valuable. If people know you have them, you'll become a target. To protect your supply, store seeds in airtight containers with silica gel packs to keep them dry. Keep them in a cool, dark place, and consider hiding them in plain sight, inside a labeled box of old papers, for example. And don't wait for the collapse to start gardening. Learn how to grow food now, while you still have access to resources and information. Practice saving seeds from your harvests, and build a small stockpile of tools and supplies like soil, fertilizer, and pest control. In a post-collapse world, seeds are more than just a resource. They're a strategy. They give you the ability to create food, trade goods, and even a sense of normalcy in a chaotic world. Protect them like your future depends on them, because it does. Bonus point 9. Tools. The backbone of self-reliance. When society collapses, the conveniences of modern life will disappear overnight. No more repairmen, no more hardware stores, no more Amazon deliveries. In this new reality, tools will become the backbone of self-reliance, allowing you to fix, build, and maintain the things you need to survive. Think about it. Without tools, you can't repair a broken shelter, build a firewood stack, or even open a can of food. A simple hammer, a sturdy saw, or a reliable multi-tool can mean the difference between surviving and struggling. And in a barter economy, tools will be worth their weight in gold. But not all tools are created equal. In a survival situation, you'll want to focus on durable, versatile items that can handle a variety of tasks. A good axe or hatchet is essential for chopping wood, while a quality knife can be used for everything from food prep to self-defense. Wrenches, screwdrivers, and pliers are invaluable for repairs, and a hand crank drill can replace power tools when the grid is down. Here's the catch. Tools are heavy, and they take up space. Most people won't think to stockpile them, and once they're gone, they'll be hard to replace. If you have a collection, you'll need to protect it. Start by organizing your tools. Keep them in a secure, weatherproof location, like a locked shed or a hidden storage box. If possible, have duplicates of the most critical items so you're not left empty-handed if something breaks or gets stolen. And don't forget about maintenance. A dull knife or a rusty saw is almost as useless as no tool at all. Keep your tools clean, sharpened, and in good working order. Stock up on items like oil, sharpening stones, and replacement parts to extend their lifespan. In a post-collapse world, tools aren't just objects, they're opportunities. They give you the ability to adapt, create, and thrive in a world where resources are scarce. Protect them like your life depends on them, because in many ways, it does.